Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Now, I came across an article about a prodigy that comes from China. His name is Zhang Xinyang. I'm sorry for mispronouncing and butchering that name, but I want to give you guys, an article to look over because it's very important that people understand that many a times your intellect may not really help you with your financial situation and your economic situation. And it's imperative that people are able to, have a mindset necessary so that they can eventually develop themselves so that they can have their economic success. So let me give you a background real quick. Uh, Zhang, that's what I'm just going to say. I'm just going to call him Zhang. All right, first gained acclaim as the little prodigy when he was 2.5 years old for being able to read over 2,000 Chinese characters. That sounds like an accomplishment. Now, here's something interesting. He entered university at the age of 10 and pursued a Ph.D. by 16, setting records as the country's youngest doctoral student. Let me say something real quick. Okay. I'm a big believer of kids being kids. So if I were to have a gifted child, at most, I'll probably make them go up like one grade over, and everything else, they'll be taught skills into becoming more successful professionally and hanging out with other people. But I will talk about that further on into the video. Anyways, in 2011, he made headlines after demanding a 2 million won, which is $280,000 apartment unit in Beijing, from his parents before starting his PhD in applied mathematics at Beihang University. Now, he even gave his parents, now I want you to know how insane this is. He even gave his parents an ultimatum that he would not pursue his PhD and give up his master's degree if they refused to buy him his apartment unit. So he's all gassed up because since the beginning of his life, they've been telling him he's a prodigy, he's gifted, okay? And because that's the case, and it seems like he has been having quite a lot of successes, he has this attitude where whatever he wants, he gets to get it. Why? Because he's a prodigy. But it's also because, and as I said before, I said this again, if you're a scholar, resources have to be given to you in order for you to engage in what you want to do. But once again, that's going to be talked about later on in the video. Now, this is what his parents are doing. Despite Zhang's insistence, his parents compromised by renting him a large flat during his PhD program instead of buying him one. Zhang claimed that his insistence on a flat stemmed from a belief that the majority of families in Beijing and Shanghai provided their children with a residence from birth. This is him in quotations. When I came to Beijing and Tianjin when I was 10 years old, I could feel the differences between me and the local kids strongly, Zhang said. If you don't even have a house in Beijing, what use would the PhD have? So this goes back down to the economics, right? You live in Beijing. Now, a lot of people don't know, Beijing is a hyper competitive city. It's like LA, it's like Miami, it's like New York City, Las Vegas. It's like a bustling hub. You need to have some sort of rooted foundation and housing in that city in order to engage in what you want to do. So for Zhang, okay, he needs to have a house and it can't just be rented. Anyways, let's continue onwards. After completing his doctorate in 2019, Zhang still felt he deserved a spending allowance of up to 10 million won, which is $1.4 million. the supposed current value of the flat that his parents did not buy him. He held a teaching job at Zhang Normal University, once again, don't know how to pronounce it, after graduation, but resigned 2 years later in August 2021. While he had accumulated around 50,000 won, which is 7,000 in earnings, he revealed that he already spent it all. Now, he's a child genius, but he already spent all his money. Now, Zhang said he now works on ad hoc projects with his friends, but admits he can get by with daily expenses from the allowance sent by his parents. Zhang regularly receives 10,000 won, which is $1,400 from his parents every 2 to 3 months for allowance and an extra 2,200 won, $307 monthly for his rent. Now, here's another thing. Zhang expresses contentment with his current situation, emphasizing a lack of stress and the situation derived from his chosen path. According to Zhang, he can keep his spending down by consuming expired food and buying only vegetable dishes. You guys, don't be consuming expired food. I'm just telling you guys, okay? I know he lives in a different country like China. Just don't do it. This approach has allowed him to avoid getting a full-time job. How would you achieve financial freedom by working for others? That will be an other joke. For now, at least I don't need to be at someone's disposal. Time has changed, and no one will starve to death nowadays. This is what Zhang is saying, okay? How would you achieve financial freedom by working for others? If you just sit around and do nothing, you can live a happy life. However, if you start a business recklessly, you can easily lose everything. I'm quite satisfied with my current situation. No job, no stress. All right. So, okay. We have a situation. We have a child prodigy who is smart. Okay. Can't take that away from him. He's intelligent. Can't take that away from him. But he's tired of the grind. He's tired of not getting much for all the work that he puts in. Okay? He's just tired of the stress. And if you look into China, you look into East Asia, you will see that a lot of these people are going through such a high level of competition that they're being self-neutered to the point where they don't wish to have kids. They don't wish to have a job, etc., etc. Why is that the case? Because at the end of the day, right, you need empowerment. And it's not just empowerment through academics. You need empowerment through resources. What Zhang is going through is what's going to happen for a lot of people in the United States of America. And it's already happening. Why? Because you're going through all this stress. Once again, he was, filtered through the university college system when he was younger. They told him, hey, you know what? You're smart. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to do all these things. He comes up and he says, you know what? I'm done with it. Why? Because he was just pushed through. Sometimes you just got to simmer and you just got to be seasoned. Okay. You don't finish college and university in 6 months. Okay. There's a YouTuber, his name was Diamond Dave. He said that statement before. You don't finish a college in 6 months. The problem with Zhang isn't that he's not intelligent. It's because he's been pushed through so much that he was never seasoned. You understand? Sometimes you got to work the 10 to 16 hours a day. Not because it could be done easily in 1 or 2 hours, but you need to deal with the stress levels of having to do something 10 to 16 hours repetitively so that you can have success down the road. Zhang unfortunately could not do that. Because why? Because his parents and his environment, which really put, academics and scholars at the top, essentially failed him to become empowered in the long term. So what do you have to get from this video? A couple things, but these are the most important things to get from this video. Number one, okay, just because you're intelligent and understand things quickly doesn't mean that you actually know how to apply said thing that you know about in order to make sure that you're empowered. And number two, you need to be seasoned in the sense that you need to be in the marketplace doing what you're doing for long stretches of time instead of quickly passing tests and just getting pushed along. That's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.